Hi, everybody. Dan Illman, Mike Beer, the DRF race of the day for Sunday, August the 21st, race number 10 at Woodbine. It is the first jewel of Canada's Triple Crown, the $1 million Queen's Plate. We're going 1.25 miles on the Tapeta surface.
Want to view free Formulator past performances for this race? Head to the Race of the Day page at DRF.com. Don't forget to subscribe to the DailyRacingForm YouTube channel and bet this card with DRF Bets.
Let's take a peek at this field. Please scan the QR code for Race of the Day access on your mobile device. Of course, you can play this race with your DRF Bets account. As usual, the plate gets a big field and it's pretty wide open, although favoritism likely to come down to the 6 Rondure, the winner of the Grade 3 Marine last time out, and the super impressive filly Moira, who dominated him in the Woodbine Oaks.
Yeah, Moira, a slight favorite on the morning line off of a really fast race in the Oaks last time. Listen, she's looked good right from the start, Dan, and it kind of feels like she's one of the horses in here where you don't really worry about how far they have to go because she looks like she'll run all day.
There should be some hitting in the early portion of the Queen's Plate. We got a couple of pace horses in here, and Timeform US concurs with that assessment. Note the red bar fast pace scenario. Causin Mayhem from the far outside has shown plenty of speed from 3 starts. Whether he's good enough, I don't know, but probably his best chance is whether he goes to the lead. Ironstone made the lead in the Marine before being beaten by Rondure as the favorite that day. Distance is the big question for Ironstone, but he's real fast.
Yeah, he's fast, and he's got inside position on Causin Mayhem, the 11, who does, I think, want to show speed. Luckily for him, they have a very long run to the first turn, so he's going to have time to get forward in this race from post 11. I still think the 4, the Minkster, is probably another horse who wants to be up a part of the pace. Dan, they tried to rate him in the plate trial last night. It didn't seem like it worked out that well for him.
I think Mark Casse might have an under-the-radar horse in the number 1, Hall of Dreams, who would benefit from the fast pace because this is a horse that just seems to be improving with extra distance. He broke his maiden 2-back going 1.125 miles in the plate trial. His first start against winners, he kind of made a little move into it before flattening. I just think he's slowly improving. He's supposed to be a late bloomer by Lemon Drop Kid, and if this pace is fast, he can pick up some pieces at a price.
Yep, I agree with all that stuff. I do think he's sort of heading in the right direction here. He's another horse who it feels like added distance is not going to be a problem for him. And he ran fine last time. He didn't run as well as the winner, for sure. They sort of made the same move in that race around the turn. Then they bumped off each other at the top of the stretch, and for sure just outfinished him. But this horse ran fine in that.
It's safe to say that the number 2, Shamateur, didn't like dirt when wintering at Laurel Park, but he came back into form last time out on the turf at Woodbine. Let's watch that 1.16 mile race over the E.P. Taylor course, and we see him on the outside here, Mike, and I know the early pace wasn't very fast, but he's got a shot at it, a big look right here, and he's going to come up a little short.
Yeah, I don't love this loss for him. This is easily a race that feels like he could have won, and he's just not finding enough at the end of the race. And listen, he's just a horse who's in the position now, and I understand why they're taking a shot at the Queen's Plate. It's a huge race for a 3-year-old up there, but he's one of the horses who has to improve by a lot if he's going to contend here.
Big step up in class. The 6th finisher from that race came back to run 3rd in a 2 life with a 78 buyer. Ironstone is a multiple stakes winner sprinting. He is a classy horse. He has a lot of speed. The question is the distance. In the Marine last time out, they stretched him out to 1.16 miles. He blasted out of there from the rail. He got a breather on the back stretch. He was no match for Rondure. Considering this pace scenario and the extra distance, he's really going to have him nailed on tight, I would think.
Yeah, I just don't really like him stretching out again here, and his Marine was fine. He did go a little bit quick early in the race, but overall the trip wasn't too taxing for him. It just seems like he didn't really get the distance, Dan. I don't like him stretching out again. I think one of the positives for him, though, as good as he is and as fast as he is, he has been effective without the lead before, so I wouldn't be surprised if they tried to rate him a little bit here.
The Minkster, the number 4, won his first 3 starts, including the prestigious Coronation Futurity at 1.125 miles. This will be his 3rd start of the year. He tasted defeat for the first time in the plate trial when he was the favorite. Can you make an excuse for that race?
Yeah, I just feel like, again, they tried to rate him in there, and it just looked like, especially in the first few furlongs of that race, that the Minkster just did not like it at all. His rider took a big hold of him, and he was just pulling. He did not want to settle. He did not want to sit off of other horses. And by the time the real running started in there, he was right there at the top of the stretch with a look at it, but he just didn't have anything left. I think it really cost him when they, sort of got into a fight with him early, Dan. I won't be surprised if they turn him loose in here.
Duke of Love is the number 5. This horse ran second behind Rondure in the Marine, and he turned into the stretch in contention. He flattened out a little bit, no match for that one in the lane. Came back in the plate trial. Let's talk about that short comment line, blocked and bumped. He didn't have the easiest trip in that race, and he's the kind of horse, if you give him some pace and a clear run, he's another one that can pick up some pieces at the very least at a big price for an excellent trainer.
Yeah, I agree with all that. And, to me, I think it's not that hard to go back and watch the play trial and say, this horse was going to win if he could have gotten through between horses in the stretch, because he was right in behind the leaders waiting for somewhere to go. And it just never opened up for him. He got totally shut off. He lost position. And then he almost got up for third at the end of the race as he tried to re-rally. He was really unlucky last time. The problem for Duke of Love is, he just looks like an impossible horse to ride. He never runs straight. He's always got his head cocked. He's on his wrong lead through the stretch most of the time. He's a real goofy horse, but he can run.
And to see what Mike's talking about, click on that short comment link in your free Formulator past performances. You'll get to see the video of Duke of Love's most recent race. Talented horse. He's still learning. The 6 is Rondure, who just blew him away in this race. The grade 3 Marine. It was his first time around 2 turns. He sat very comfortably off the leaders. When it was time to go, he went and he kept on going. And best of all, he earned a big 95 buyer speed figure.
Yeah, I thought he ran really well in here first time on the stretch. This is a really impressive win. It's in fast time, too. I had liked his prior 2 starts as well. Then I thought he ran great in the Queenston, even though he just got beat by the Minkster that day. That was a good performance. He improved again last time. This horse is super dangerous in here.
Now he's got to do it at 1.25 miles. He did it at 1.16 miles last time out. Dancin in Denial is up next. He was one of the pace setters in the plate trial. He tired that day. Maybe what he wants to do is sit from off the pace, as he did 2 starts back, his seasonal debut on turf, where he kind of rated a bit. He made a little bit of a run, and I thought it was an okay starting off point. He does have to improve to beat this field.
Yeah, he does. I sort of like the way that you talked about him, though. I think they're going to take him off the pace this time. In the plate trial, they just sort of went after the leader in that race, Causin Mayhem, and they sort of pressed him all the way up the backstretch, dueled him around the turn, and then this horse got tired through the stretch. I don't think they're going to ride him that way this time.
The morning line favorite is the number 8 Moira, an extremely exciting filly trained by Kevin Attard. Let's watch her race in the Woodbine Oaks. There was a big pace early on. She's already taken this over, turning into the stretch, and it is showtime and go time. 92 buyer speed figure for Moira, who should get another pace scenario, and I don't worry about fillies against the boys in the plate. It helps she gets the 5 pounds.
Yeah, I agree with all that stuff. This is just a really impressive win, and it's in fast time. I do think, this is going to be a much tougher race for her. I think there are better horses in this field for her to have to deal with. But Dan, she's run really well in all 4 of her starts so far. She debuted in the Princess Elizabeth last year. She was unbelievably good in that race. It just won for fun. And again, I don't think the distance is a problem for her. She might be the horse to beat.
Stakes debut for the number 9 Hunt Master. Ran an underrated race against allowance horses last time out. Let's watch that start, going 1.16 miles on the Tapeta against some older horses. Pace not fast at all, as you can see by those fractions, 51 to the half. Hunt Master tried really hard to get second.
Yeah, another horse who feels like he's coming into this the right way. He was okay last year. It feels like his first 2 starts as a 3-year-old are both steps in the right direction. And he does run really well in here, Dan. A race that, maybe he was best considering the trips, but he's going to have to run better than that against this field.
He certainly is. It's a much tougher field. The 5th place horse in that race did come back to win with a 79 buyer against 3 life claimers. Sir For Sure is the 10, and Sir For Sure just beat 5 of these horses last time out in the plate trial. Take us through this race, going 1.125 miles. We turn into the stretch of the plate trial, and Sir For Sure, you can argue, got a better trip than some of these.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a really good trip in this race. The pace was there for him. Again, those two horses, Causin Mayhem was up there contesting the pace up the backstretch and around the turn. And this horse just sat off it. He bumped with Hall of Dreams at the top of the stretch and just out finishes that horse. I mean, I don't have a real knock on this performance, Dan. He ran well here. The only other time they went 2 turns with him, he was an easy winner that day. He's got the right running style for this race. There's plenty to like.
You saw Duke of Love, the number 4 in that race, kind of get just jammed up in behind horses, was running on at the end for 4th, but no knocks against Sir for Sure, who is 2 for 2 going 2 turns. It appears this is what he wants to do. He's going to get some pace from Mark Casse. Causin Mayhem is one of the expected pace setters, according to Timeform US. This is a big ask. It's only his 4th lifetime start. He was 3rd after setting the pace in the plate trial, and a fast pace probably doesn't help him any.
Yeah, that was the only thing that I don't really like about him. I actually don't think I mind them stretching him out again for this race, but he's going to have to try to pull a different trip than he pulled in the plate trial, where he's just sort of under pressure on the lead the entire way without catching a breather, and he just got a little tired in the stretch. I actually like all 3 of his races. I think this horse does have some talent. I just don't know if this is the right race for him.
Before we get to our top selections, please click the subscribe button on the Daily Racing Form YouTube channel for all the latest DRFTV video franchises. Top pick time for the Queen's Plate. History going to be made at Woodbine on Sunday, and we're hoping Rondure is the one to do it. He just was so visually impressive last time out.
Yeah, that's why I took him. I just really liked his last race. He's coming into this the right way, I think. So I'm going to take him on top in here. You know, I'll be very interested to see how they bet it, though, Dan, because if Duke of Love, the 5, gets overlooked in this race, I'm going to use that horse.
Major respect for Moira, the filly, in here. I'm curious to see if Ironstone, or how far Ironstone wants to go. Don't know if he's good enough to win this race, but he's got some ability. Maybe we'll cut him back down the road and make some money. But Rondure is our top pick in our Sunday DRF race of the day. It's the plate. Good luck.